Welcome all Pokemon trainers, it's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the second week of the Bando tournament, Pokemon on Discord. We're doing a Pocket Monsters tournament for those of you who don't know, and this is my video for all my matches that took place on Saturday. It was a lot of fun, just like last week was. We've changed up the rules a little bit here, but I'm not really going to get into those rules right now. If they come up for future videos, then I'll let you guys know. That being said, and they'll be talked about in the afterplay videos. Most of the time, that's when I'll discuss them. But just for a quick rundown, once again, everyone picks a generation, anywhere from Generation 3 games in the Ruby, Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green, all the way to Sword and Shield. Everyone picks their favorite game. You play to the first gym leader, and then everybody has a tournament. Second gym leader, second tournament, third. You guys get the picture. So, and the level cap thing is still in effect right now. We're trying to nail down a better level cap system for the remainder of the tournament. We're trying to tweak some rules necessarily. But if you guys are interested in a little more details about this, you can go check out the first video where I explain this a lot more. But that being said, why don't we just get underway, wearing a different color headband this time, hoping it's going to help us in our matches this week because we have more people in the tournament than last week. So, should be a lot of fun. Let's just jump right into the matches. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first round for week 2 of the tournament. This time we're off against Phi. Now, one of the big things is a lot of people, I didn't face off against Phi, I don't believe, in the last tournament, in last week. So, but one of the problems was some people like Neo and Phi and certain people, and Miss, they all brought not a full team of Pokemon, so they were sort of defeated very easily, very quickly. But now it seems we polished it up a little more from last week, because looking at this, perfectly level balanced. Both our teams, mine and Phi's, have the same levels on the same number of Pokemon. It's going to work out really well, and it's going to be an exciting match, you know, because I know she knows how to play Pokemon and stuff. So as we jump in, this is going to be sort of a difficult battle, honestly, because when I start out, I automatically think, just right off the bat, why don't I start with Kadabra? We've got our new team, as you guys see from last week, and I say, why don't I start off with Kadabra? Because Psybeam, looking at her team lineup, Psybeam, high special attack, going to be doing pretty good damage against almost anything on her team. She starts off with the one really good counter to this, and even my Psybeam can only do about 19% health, as we see from here. So, and she makes a smart move and goes for the Yawn. Now, I don't want to fall asleep, of course, so I switch in to, of course, my Gyarados Nessie, who has Bite, obviously. So, but goes for the damn Moonlight. She goes for the Moonlight, but I don't think that's going to matter too much because, once again, looking at that damage, that's not even a critical hit. Look at that super effective damage on Bite. Bite is a dark type move by this point. That Psywave, deadly as hell. Psywave can be very, very dangerous, so I'm glad I took this thing out when I did. Now, Moses the Kadabra should be able to jump in here pretty easily without too much standing in his way necessarily. But switches out, smart move here, going for the electric type, right? Going for either the shock wave, the thunder wave, something like that. I make the smart play here, switching into a ground type. Did go for the shock wave, take no damage, and now I'm in a position of strength. One of the big problems, though, with my new tank here on the team, my Nidoqueen, Queen Elizabeth herself, is the fact that, as we can see, I don't really have that great a move pool. My move pool consists of mostly weak to medium moves. Bite, double kick, poison, sting, scratch. There was no opportunity for me to gain anything else by this point, by the level cap and all that stuff. So that being the case, though, she switches out to Weed-Headed, the Pansage here. And as you can tell, even with the Leech Seed and stuff, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. The Poison Sting, while a very weak move, is still super effective. Our attack isn't that bad. But that Leech Seed is going to tend to be a bit of a problem, and I'm sort of worried about it at this point. I don't want to give up Elizabeth too quickly, so I switch out into the one thing she can't really do very much against. The thing's already poisoned, and look at that Grass Knot damage, only 3%. It's not going to be very effective against Brute Root or Ivysaur, and it's going to keep taking that chip damage from the Poison Sting. So at this point, I'm pretty happy where we're standing. Now, this is an obvious switch into the Fire type. But nonetheless, instead of going for the Poison Powder or the Leech Seed, I don't really predict it very well, and I go for the Razor Leaf. But it's good to know what type of damage I can do to this thing. And by switching right now, I've also lowered its attack with Intimidate. So even though Nessie is at about 51% HP, and the Pig gets a speed boost, it's not going to matter because she's smart and switches out before she takes a Water Pulse. I still go for the Water Pulse, though, because there's not very much on her team that Water Pulse won't do some type of damage, and I'm begging on that confusion. There's going to be a trend here around my matches. I don't get the confusion very often, okay? So I decided to switch out right here to Apollo, our Mankey, thinking, okay, normal type, a Karate Chop should do pretty good. Though it does decent damage, 34% without the critical hit, that Retaliate is dangerous. And of course, Apollo not being, just being a Mankey, level 18 and stuff, doesn't really stand much chance against something as bulky as an Adino straight up. So, unfortunately, we lose our first Pokemon, and down goes Adino. Looking at the way that it's situated right now, we bring back Moses in, and I'm thinking, okay, Psybeam should be doing pretty good. 36% against a bulky Pokemon. I'm pretty happy about that. The Attraction, sort of worried about that. I forget what I exactly end up doing here. Yeah, I switch out. I'm not willing to bet that. That Retaliate looked really dangerous. So I make the play to sacrifice Ash, the Pikachu. I was like, okay, not definitely my weakest Pokemon on my team right now, so I'm just going to switch. But I go for the double switch here once I see that Faye went for the Blitzel. At that point, I switched back in, of course, to Nidoqueen, but she made the good move of going for the Flame Charge. And then does a double switch into, after going for the Flame Charge, goes into this thing. Now, Poison Sting is what I went for, hoping for the poison. Not so much. Went into this thing, Kung Blue, the sock. This thing is very dangerous on my team, against my team, because look at that low sweep. That's resisted. That's resisted. My speed falls. I think I can still beat this thing out. Get a quick Psybeam off. No, even Kadabra, who's speedy. Naturally, this sock, I'm not too familiar with the Nova Pokemon, so I didn't realize how speedy this thing was, and that speed drop, and that cost me Moses. So now, the tides are starting to turn in Faye's favor. Because, Faye's favor, that's nice. And a critical hit once I jump into Brute Root, thinking, okay, I gotta poison this thing, I gotta Leech Seed this thing, I gotta do something. So I do poison it. I went for the poison on this time. So, this Kung Blue thing, we need to chip damage it because I don't think I can kill this thing straight up anymore. I have no flying moves. The low sweeps and the retaliates are going to do heavy damage against all my Pokemon. Nidoqueen would take a really bad hit. So would Gyarados. So at this point, I'm just trying to buy some time, chip away at this thing's damage. Because as long as I can keep something like Nidoqueen or Gyarados alive, by the time I get this thing dead, I think I can kill off the rest of the team. But still, Brute Root goes down, and we're only got this thing down to 50%. It's not looking very happy. This thing is going to start running through my team, starting to sweep my team. So and then it does take the poison damage, thankfully. Now here's where I'm thinking, okay, what do I do with Pikachu? I'm thinking, I forget what I was thinking there. I think I went for a double team. I should have went for a quick attack. I did have it because I wouldn't have went for a Thunder Wave, but basically just sent out to die, but takes another 12% damage, so we're getting close, we're getting closer. I think I bring out Nessie, yes, I bring out Nessie. I get the Intimidate on, just so that maybe Low Sweep or Retaliate won't do near as much. All I need, Bite, unfortunately, which is one of my best moves, not going to do very much. However, the Water Pulse is going to be neutral against the Fighting type, and though it's not enough to take it down, with the poison damage, there we go. But now the problem is, we are down to in the yellow, Gyarados, and with no status ailments, that's a good sign, and a weakened Nidoqueen against 4 Pokemon. And we haven't actually damaged this thing yet either. So I need to switch. She knows I need to switch. I'm expecting in comes the Flame Charge. Because she knows it. She knows that that's what's going to happen. But she still attempts the Paralyze. She still attempts the Thunder Wave. I was thinking I was going to take a hit, but I don't. And looking at that damage on Bite, once again, Blitzel is in the same position as my Pikachu or my Mankey. Not in the best position for any of this stuff. The Poison Point comes in as a clutch move. Not that it mattered in the end. The Bite was still going to be able to kill this thing off in another hit. But sort of okay, all right. Switches out. I don't know exactly what the purpose here was to kill this thing off. Maybe come back from a position of strength, something like that. But we take care of the Pansage, no problem. So now the game's looking a little more even. Maybe I can come back now that I've gotten rid of that sock thing. We've not done any damage as far as I remember to the Pignite, though. That being said, and Gyarados is at weak enough health that if The Pig Knight manages to get off a decent move with a critical hit, maybe kills off the Gyarados, and I might be screwed out of a victory. The Dino, of course, had almost no health remaining. And here, yeah, one little hit off, a little bit of chip damage on the Pig Knight. Now, the Pig Knight comes in. I go for the double kick, thinking, okay, Bite's not going to work because it's fighting type. Scratch, Poison Sting, nah. I said, let's just go for the double kick. The double kick has a chance to crit, and goes for the Smog. I have no idea why. That did nothing. Like, there are so many better plays there. I get a critical hit with the Poison Sting and get the poison, because I was thinking, okay, this thing, it's probably got a berry or something. Does have a berry, so it jumps back up to 61 HP. Elizabeth is probably going to go down, and I've got to get rid of that damn Blitzel. Like, you know, I got to outspeed that thing before it can get one Shockwave off. Will kill Gyarados at this range. There's just no question. I don't need a calculator to check that. So here's where I pull up the Scratch, just trying to hopefully wear this thing down. The Tackle comes in with a critical hit, and I'm thinking, okay, this is the end. This is the end. What do? I'm like, all right, I got 21%. I got the poison. What's my play here? The double kick. And it does get it, and we get the kill. At this point, Faye really can't do very much against me because her best move is, of course, Shockwave. She does have Flame Charge, but at this range, one bite's all it's going to take, and I'm faster. So that's the end of the first round. 34 turns, though. Very nail-biter, very close to the wire, as you guys could tell. So yeah, might have to speed these videos along a little bit because there's more matches to get through. But yeah, so either way, we won the first battle. Now we're on to round 2 of the first match of the tournament. Alright, so here we go for the second round against Fi. We barely beat her last time, as you guys just watched, so let's jump into this one. I sped up this part of the video a little bit because I think we can get through it. So, starts off with Sock right off the bat, and I start with the Pikachu thinking, okay, what about a double team strategy? You know what I mean? Not really going to happen here. We take the low sweep. We get the quick attack off, 5%. We're already down one Pokemon. Here's where I'm like, okay, I can kill this thing off really, really easy. Psybeam this thing. But she predicts the prediction, she switches out, and once again, we're up against this blasted thing, this damn Munna, this dream Pokemon. So we're going to try to do the same thing we did last time, except this time, the Yawn doesn't attack Moses, but goes after Nessie. That Psywave takes us down to 44%, and I'm thinking, Psywave, my Psybeam can barely damage this thing. So, and look at the Psywave damage. That Psywave damage, of course, you all know how Psywave works. Very, very dangerous. Thankfully, we get the bite off, but look at Nessie at this point. Already taken down, and we still don't kill the thing because Faye is playing this a lot. She's out for blood. She's out for revenge. She wants to kick my ass early on. The long game, the longer the game went on, the worse off she was. Even looking at all the Pokemon that were fainted on my side, hers were all chip damage away from death. One hit away. She had 4 Pokemon left, but they all only needed 1 hit. So the Adino managed to take down Nessie. That's a big loss, especially since we're not going to be able to fight that Pig Knight. However, because of this, Mankey can come in. The Karate Chop is in range to kill. Pretty straightforward. Now the Pig Knight comes in to do a Flame Charge. I didn't expect to live this, but nonetheless, I go for the Mega Kick. We get a solid 35% damage before Apollo goes down. Apollo did much more in this battle, but now we're down 3 Pokemon. We're down half our damn team. However, we are faster than this guy. I took a bet that I'd still be faster than the pig, even if I'm not faster than the fighting type, and I go for the Psybeam for the easy, super effective hit. I decide to stay in and go for a Psybeam here, and I'm willing to take the Paralysis because, unfortunately, my Synchronize, no, sorry, doesn't happen because, of course, it's electric type. However, keep switching out. I'm just betting on this at this point. I'm like, hey, I'll take the hit. I'm not going to be able to kill Sock anyways. So I'm doing massive damage to her team just with those Psybeams. So Moses did his job. And then I decided to come in here, full health Brute Root, do the Razor Leaf, right? Like, because we take some chip damage from Thief, but we had an opportunity there to almost kill. Now, this is where I go for the Razor Leaf here, and once again see that it's only 14% after she switches out into this thing, which, even though we're resisted, my speed's down, this thing is really, really tough. I try to go for the Sleep Powder this time. I'm like, I need some free turns with this thing. I miss it, and the Retaliate comes in. I need this to hit. It does hit this time, so now we got the Sleep. Now, it's only a Sleep, though. I set up the Leech Seed, and I'm thinking, okay, I can get some health back. I can get a Razor Leaf or 2 in, but 1 turn, and it wakes back up. 1 damn turn. Thankfully, the Leech Seed was enough to probably keep us at a death there. We get a 26% hit off on this thing. We take more Leech Seed health back, but it's definitely going to kill us next turn. But I think that Brute Root really put in the work against this Kung Blue because Nidoqueen wasn't going to be able to kill this thing. But the Leech Seed, of course, stays on the Pokemon. Faye apparently did not know that when we were playing. She goes, but your Ivysaur's dead. Shouldn't the Leech Seed go away? I'm like, no, not until you switch out. So even though I take some hits here, the Leech Seed is keeping me in the game. So, like, there goes the scratch, kill it off. Don't get the extra Leech Seed back that time, but we end off at 70%. Once again, right here, very dangerous Psychic type. Worried, but I'm faster, even with the speed loss. Nidoqueen, what a champion. One bite, take this thing down. This is what I was talking about. Just like last match, leaves a lot more Pokemon alive, but they're all at chip damage away from death. Now, the Pansage manages to beat me out with a Grass Knot that does some significant damage, but now there's nothing else this thing can do against me, even though that most of her Pokemon were faster. They just can't take the bulkiness of Nidoqueen, of Queen Elizabeth II, and there we go. We have our victory. We have our first match. Our first match setup is a victory against Faye, 2-0. 2-0, but very, as you can tell, both matches way down to the wire. Faye plays a lot more dangerous and a lot smarter than I initially thought because I had nothing to go off of with the first week because she just wasn't prepared for it. But look out for Faye in future tournaments, or Faye, whatever. Look out for her in future tournaments because, as you can see, she brought me down to the wire both matches. So, yeah. Okay, so now it's the second round of the tournament. We're into the second round, but unfortunately, we're paired up against the champion from last time. And looking at that level difference, you can tell why I didn't want to have this match super, super early. There's a lot of dangerous Pokemon on Seth's team. He's got that damn Dark Fox thingy, and he's got a Quagsire now, which is just that's pretty bulky. I'm not too familiar with the Sword and Shield Pokemon on the team, but I'm just gonna have to wing this match and see how we do. So let's just get underway with it. So starts off with this damn thing. I forget what it's called, Thievul. So the Thievul, we actually managed to do, I thought, a pretty good start. Starting off with Nessie, hoping for an early Intimidate and the Water Pulse. That, had we gotten the confusion, might have done something, but this thing's already setting up on me. And I've got nothing against Dark type. Like, by the time I switch out into Mankey, the thing's going to be already set up and kill me and outspeed me and stuff anyway. So I'm like, all right, at this point, we're going to have to sacrifice Nessie. We're just going to have to do as much damage to this thing, because now it's at 3 times special attack with the Nasty Plot. Very dangerous. Try to go for the Mankey here, but as you guys could tell, it wouldn't have mattered. It can outspeed me. You know its attack is better, but even by the time I had gotten it out, the Karate Chop might not have done much. So here I'm hoping that I can maybe survive something here. Nope. Elizabeth manages to survive 1 attack. The Double Kick manages to do very significant damage, but once again, it's going to outspeed us, and that special attack boost is just killing my entire team. 3-0 or 0-3 so far. I go for Pikachu here, hoping that the quick attack. Let's just try a little bit of chip damage. Maybe it'll help. Maybe I'll get a miss, but I think Snarl is 100% accuracy. So, yeah. At this point, jump into Brute Root, hoping that a Snarl won't kill. It's rather bulky. This is the case. However, a special attack drop, sort of irritating, even though Razor Leaf is physical. So we do have that opportunity. Now this thing apparently is a rock fire type. Christmas, the rock fire type. I switch in, I know I can't survive anything, so I switch into my psychic type here, of course, Kadabra, my Moses, hoping for something. That flame charge is dangerous as hell, kills me, and I don't really do anything significant to it. Bring out Brute Root once again just for the loss. It's a very quick battle. I managed to keep Seth from getting bonus points here, but he kicked my ass. He completely destroyed me. He kicked my ass completely. And at this point, I'm feeling like this is going to be a repeat of. I did win my first match, thankfully, but with this loss for round 1 of the second match, I'm thinking I'm going to be sent into losers bracket, probably paired up against a team I can't win against again. And yeah, so at this point, not feeling the best about this. So now we go into round 2 for the second match, and we're still up against Seth, of course. that was a really bad play style, so I'm hoping I can't let this thing set up nasty plots anymore, but Seth is on Out for Blood, knows exactly that worked last time. Why won't it work again? So I'm going to assume that he's going to try to pull the same stuff. This time, not so much. Sends out so I start with the Mankey, assuming that he's going to try to pull the same shit. Sends out the Quagsire. I go for the low kick. Doesn't do very much damage, and now I'm drowsy. I got to make the switch. So I'm thinking, okay, one Razor Leaf should take this thing down. And the Aqua Tail, we resisted pretty decently. But he's definitely going to call... I thought he was going to call the Razor Leaf, so I went for the Leech Seed, thinking, okay, well, regardless, I think the Leech Seed will really help if he decides to switch into that Thievul again. But he doesn't do it, and we don't want to take the sleep on our Ivysaur, of course. So switches out, and now we're back to exactly where we were day one, square one. Definitely going to go for the Nasty Plot here again. It's going to start setting up, and I'm praying on a Karate Chop here because already up to 2 Nasty Plots before I get one move off. Praying for the critical hit. I don't get it, even though Karate Chop does decent damage, and there, once again, the Swift just kills me off, no problem. So this time we're in a little bit of a better position, but not great. Snarl is still at 3 times special attack. So I try my best here to get a critical maybe on the double kick. Of course, has the Citrus Berry. These damn berries is what's stopping me. I don't think I could have killed it from that range anyways, but would have been at any range for maybe even Pikachu's Quick Attack to do something at that point. But unfortunately, held items are allowed, so here we go. Another Nasty Plot, really just to really sink, get rid of my entire victory plan here. Still managed to survive. My Gyarados Nessie still managed to survive even with ×4 special attack. This thing is not actually that strong. It's just fast, and once you get a quick setup, it's good to go. Now, here's where I'm like, okay, quick attack, 5%. Yes, we managed to keep Seth. At the very least, we know we aren't going to win. So, at the very least, we keep this thing from getting, and then I tried the double team strategy. It's not going to work in the end. It's not going to work. We'd still get the paralysis, but at the end of the day, this is not going to work. We're not going to be able to dodge forever. But we kept Seth definitely from gaining bonus points for sweeping. Because remember, in this tournament, no matter how many rounds or how many matches you play, you get 2 bonus points if you sweep an entire team. You don't lose a single Pokemon. So, but I managed to make him lose at least 1 Pokemon. I'm pretty happy about that. And we're going to Psybeam this thing as much as we can. We get the paralysis finally. That's not too bad. Still got 2%, and I just can't seem to take this thing out. We take a massive hit from a Flame Charge, and Seth lets it die off. Seth's not trying to be like, oh, I beat you 5-0 sort of idea. So then we go up against this thing named Blastoise. We finally get a Confusion from a Water Pulse or a Psybeam. Doesn't matter, Rock Tomb takes us out in 1 hit. And we don't get the Confusion. Now I imagine that Rock Tomb is going to be deadly against me anyways. Hit itself in Confusion though. That was pretty nice. And the Razor Leaf manages to take this thing out. I don't know if the critical hit mattered. So we actually make this look like at least it was a half decent match. I go for the Razor Leaf here, of course, once again. Can't take this thing out though. And with the 47, unless I get a crit, I'm not going to be able to do it. Goes for the sleep. And I'm just like, okay. Boom. That was a low range. We do kill the Quagsire, and now we're down 2-1. I actually have a shot here if I can wake up. I need to wake up in the next 2 turns, and I have a shot at this because I am super effective against both of these teams. Then the Echoed Voice. The Echoed Voice coming in. It's going to start stacking. I do wake up, but unfortunately, this isn't enough to kill. And then, because I don't get the super... If I had gotten the critical hit, might have been a different story because, boom, we kill this thing. But, of course, at this range, 12%, the Diglett is faster. 1 Razor Leaf would kill this thing. I have no question in my mind about that. But also has Sucker Punch. So, this was a much better match. I managed to come back pretty easily. And we were down to 1 move. Had Sucker Punch missed, had I not gotten, had I woken up on the first turn of sleep, had I gotten the critical hit, there was a multitude of factors right down to the wire that I might have been able to beat Seth and take 1 match from him, or 1 round from him, but I couldn't do it, and I was sent into the loser's bracket. So now at this point, I was in the loser's bracket, but I did get a free win because Fuse, who was supposed to be my first opponent in the loser's bracket, wasn't able to participate. and forfeited before I had a chance to actually forfeit, because at this point I was feeling pretty salty about losing to Seth another time, because Seth is who beat me in the first tournament. Seth beat me once again in this tournament, and I was just thinking, man, I thought I built a really solid team that I was going to be really shocking with a Nidoqueen and a Gyarados, but I was feeling a little salty, and so I still had other things to do, and this is hours in. This took us hours, ladies and gentlemen. This took us a long time to get to this point. So I ended up going, doing some other things and stuff like that, and I came back and said, hey, like, I know I'm probably already out of the tournament, and I gave notice. I said, if Fuse can make the match and I can't, you're going to have to give it to Fuse, and I had sent that in the Discord. But by the time I actually got back home after a couple hours, my match hadn't come up yet. And because Fuse had forfeited, and they were playing all the other matches, so I managed to go in time up against Clover, the admin of the server, for Miscontent server. So I'm thinking, okay, well, all right, I'll play this match. Let's see what we can do. So let's just jump right into it and see how we fare off against Clover. Clover, as you can tell, has a pretty solid team and a level 25 Kulava. Very dangerous. So we jump in here. I completely forget how we start. I figure we start off against a Kadabra. I usually try to take, what's my best wide berth option, right? What's my best wide berth option? So here's where I'm like, okay, start off with Moses, go for a side beam, see what we can do. We do heavy damage to Stantler the Whore. And we do get the confusion, but it doesn't really end up mattering. Now, we go for the side beam. Boom! Once again, Onix, terrifying on early levels. Once you get up into the 20s, it can't take a hit. Onix is a terribly statted Pokemon. Very unfortunate because one of the coolest Pokemon. Now, this is lucky on us. Throws out the Quilava, and we're doing heavy damage to this thing, which is the highest level on her team. We managed to, I'm thinking, okay, I got this in the bag. Boom, gets a crit Ember. Look at the damage output on this Ember, though. Watch this. This Ember does 35% damage to a bulky Nidoqueen. Like, that thing has an IV of 31 if I've ever seen it, and a plus nature. That thing is dangerous. But we still managed to kill it. Brings out a Dratini, who's also going to be very dangerous because of that move right there. 40 damage without problem. Thankfully, I'm in range of a 2-hit KO on the Dratini. But goddamn, this thing is tough. Sends out Fluffy the Flaffy. I don't know what the idea was here, because Clover must have been flustered, and she told me later on that she was really nervous, because she totally forgot about the ground immunity, and she keeps making mistake after mistake. Once again, probably wouldn't have mattered in the end, considering how the rest of the team is shaping up here. I don't think she could have taken out Nidoqueen regardless, even with all the tackles in the world. But either way, then we jump into the last one, the Togepi, who is resistant to the bite, because I completely forgot that it's currently fairy type. It's not, so then I go for the Poison Sting. I make the correct move. I'm thinking I'm still playing Gen 3 here, and I'm forgetting that Togepi became a fairy type. Now, this is where we get the special attack jump, but we get the confusion. We hurt ourselves in confusion, and we're down. We're down for the count. Now, once again, had Flaffy managed to kill us, it would have been fine because we have Ivysaur. Ivysaur could have taken care of business there. And, of course, here we have Gyarados coming in with the Water Pulse. Once again, the confusion. We're hitting all the confusions this time. None of them seem to matter. And then I just go for the Water Pulse to end it, even though I'm drowsy. And we win 4-0 against Clover. Clover, realistically, probably could have taken me down to maybe 2 or 3 Pokemon had she not been so nervous and flustered with the use of the Flaffy. The Togepi would have been a better choice to kill off the Nidoqueen, and then it might have been anybody's game. But yeah, so either way, not a bad match at all, and it's starting to pick my spirits up a little bit at this point. Not too much, because I still expect to have an uphill battle from here. Okay, so now we're into the second match against me versus Clover, and let's just jump right into this. We sort of pointed out her mistakes in the VC at the time with the Flaffy and stuff, and she just said she was nervous. But either way, we start off with Apollo this time, trying to switch it up. Starts off with the Onix. That low kick is dangerous as hell. Switches out into the Cinder, which is a good choice. Goes for the Defense Curl, even better choice. And I'm thinking the Rock Tomb should be able to do a decent amount of damage. It does drop the speed, but that damage is like, look at this damage. This thing, not only does it have high attack, look at that Ember without a crit. It's just absolutely dangerous. So I'm saying, well, at this point, in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's go for a Mega Kick. Let's try to do as much damage. and she manages to take out the Mankey. So it's 1v1. This is, of course, where I jump into Nessie. It's the obvious choice. I thought about just going, I was like, what is she going to switch into? So I thought about going for the bite, chose not to. It doesn't really matter in the end, though. We do take the 40 HP hit from the Dratini. That thing, once again, if Clover's smart, she'll keep Dragon Rage on that on her Dragonair and stuff from the future, just in case. You never know what type of situation you might be in. Sends out the Stantler, goes for the Hypnosis. It misses, but my Water Pulse doesn't do that much. And finally, once again, we get a confusion that might actually matter for a change. So far, no good, but the Hypnosis misses twice in a row. The Water Pulse is doing pretty decent damage. I don't know why I didn't go for the Bite. Does hit itself in confusion, and then we get the Water Pulse hit. I think I chose not to go for the Bite because of the attack stat drop, but either way. So we still just keep going with the Water Pulse. It seems to be working for us. We're hitting the confusions for once, and I'm just really excited. And it's actually doing something, like against the Stantler, and now against the Togepi. We're getting really lucky draws right here. Goes for the Yawn, so we're definitely going to have to switch after this move. But we managed to kill off the Togepi, the Onix, the Dratini, and the Stantler down to 2 Pokemon. But we are asleep. So I'm thinking, okay, at this point, why not just take it? Why not just take it? So has cut on Cinder, has cut on the Quilava. And the Quick Attack and stuff, doing decent chip damage. And had I been asleep for a few turns longer, might have been able to kill Nessie. But at this point, it's just not going to happen. One more Water Pulse and down goes Quilava, which is definitely one of the strongest Pokemon on her team, that and her Dratini. Then she jumps into the Fluffy, which, once again, this was another mistake on her part. She should have jumped into the Fluffy from the get-go and started with the Thunder Shock, you know. And she goes for the Tackle and the Cotton Spore. And I said to her later, I said, you're not playing. You're not thinking. You're not playing. You're getting too nervous. You're getting too anxious about moves, and you're making just some of these mistakes. Still ends up killing Gyarados, but with the Paralyze and all that stuff. But still, at this point, she could have had her Quilava alive, which did heavy damage against most of my Pokemon last time, but it just wasn't meant to be, and she suffers for it by taking the 2 bites that kill off her Flaffy, and that's the end of the match, 4-0. Only 22 turns. Pretty, honestly, if Clover wasn't making the mistakes, these matches would have been a lot closer. But once again, she told us she was very nervous, very anxious about facing off against people. So I'm just going to put this one up to nerves just like I did the last match. I think Clover in future weeks is going to be very dangerous. That Dratini is going to be very dangerous. And looking at the stats of that Quilava and what the damage output it was able to pull, like I think we're in for a surprise the following weeks with Clover. I really do. So we do move on in the losers bracket though. So now I have to face off against Fine, who has like an improved version or a better leveled version of Banmarsh's team. So that's kind of ironic. But that Lucario, very scary. So is most of the Pokemon on this team are relatively scary because we have some bulky Pokemon and we have that damn Lucario. So I'm a little nervous going into this match, but let's just see what happens play by play. So we start off with the Nidoqueen. I think it's a safe bet. Maybe not so much. Gets that damn Lucario out right away. Uses Return now, but my Double Kick gets a critical hit for 45% health. That's huge against that Lucario. The Lucario is probably the most dangerous thing on this team, and the fact of the matter is that I got Double Kick and I got a free hit off on the starter. So that's a major thing here. Now we're not worried about taking the Razor Shell. I was throwing out Pikachu for a sacrifice. But Pikachu managed to survive. That was pretty cool. I'm just thinking some chip damage, so we're doing some quick attacks. I know I'm not going to survive a hit from anything. Even a Thunder Shock from a Flaffy kills off Pikachu, but did way more than ever expected. We jump back into the Nidoqueen here, so then we get the double switch. The double switch was a smart idea. We go for the bite. We're doing good damage to this to the water starter here. And then we take a Razor Shell, but we managed to predict the prediction. That Razor Shell is a very dangerous move, but not against Ivysaur. I go for the Razor Leaf, not predicting the prediction. And we see that we can do okay damage to this Growlithe, but I don't want to take a massive hit on Ivysaur quite yet. Goes for the Thief, which realistically Fine doesn't know that I have no hold items, I don't think, because in Fire Red and Leaf Green you don't get hold items for a long time anyways. So I don't know what the idea behind the Thief was, but anyways. So we do some damage, and then we're back into Elizabeth here, back into Flaffy. Jumps first into the Bando, and I get a bite off. Does pretty decent damage. I was expecting a little more, and still can't kill it in 2 hits. It's going to take 3. The return does 17%, gets the poison. It's not going to matter. I mean, it did, I suppose, but bite would have killed it anyways. Now this thing, dropping my attack, that really sucks because the double kick, while super effective, this thing can survive some double kicks. So, and the return, yeah, see? Bit of an issue. I go for it anyways, hoping for another critical, and I get it. Like, I couldn't have played that. Like, that was just luck-based. That was just hacks being on my side for a change. And I was happy with that. Most of these matches have not had hacks be relatively, like, really bad on one side or the other. They've been pretty even. But that critical hit definitely made a huge difference in the turning of the rest of this battle. Because here, now that the Lucario's back out, I'm thinking, oh, I can kill this thing. I can kill this thing. Quick attack. Totally forgot about the quick attack. Nidoqueen goes down. But, and with inner focus, I can't drop this thing's damn stats. So I'm getting worried here. I take a return, but the Water Pulse manages to do so. This Lucario does not have decent special defense, clearly, because Water Pulse is not a good move on Gyarados. And then Gyarados starts doing his sweep. He starts to sweep. I take the chance. I go for the bite. I get the flinch. Don't know if it could have killed me from that range. Probably wouldn't have mattered in the end because all he has left is Growlithe at 78. Of course, the Water Pulse is going to kill in 1 hit, but I'm pretty confident that between Mankey and Kadabra, we could have killed 1 Growlithe. I'm pretty confident in that. So we win the first match against Fine. I did get some luck on my side. Not gonna say that I didn't, but I'm feeling a lot more confident. But I got no plans to make it all the way because Seth kicked my ass. Seth is still in this thing in the winners bracket, so no matter how far I make it in the losers, I don't think I can beat Seth because I've already lost to him this tournament. It's not like it's a new tournament, new Pokemon, new levels. I've got nothing against that. I can't beat it. So at this point, I'm still sort of, I'm not salty anymore, but I'm definitely like, yay, the victory. Maybe I can get 4th place. Maybe I can get 3rd place. Get some points on the board. At this point, I'm being optimistic about just getting some points on the board. So now we're in for round 2 of the match against Fine. We managed to beat out that Lucario pretty decently last time, but let's see what we can do against him this time. So, Lucario comes out, Kadabra's out, I take the return, does 100%. I'm thinking, oh man, this is not good. This is not good at all. We take, once again, the return is very, very dangerous. We did have a rule about the return. I totally forget about the steel typing, and I go for the poison sting, and I make a mistake. I make a hefty mistake. I go for the double kick. It does significant damage, of course, but now the Lucario is going to be able to kill off Nidoqueen. Not so much. We survive with barely any HP and manage to kill off the Lucario, but now we're down to an Elizabeth who can take 1 hit, 1 quick attack, and we're done. And this thing definitely has the quick attack. We know it. So we've lost Nidoqueen and Kadabra, 2 of our best Pokemon right off the bat. We took out his best, but not so sure. I sent out the Pikachu just as a bit of a scare tactic. I'm not expecting to do anything, so that's why I went for the Thunder Wave. I expected all of these Pokemon to be able to kill me pretty good. And then I said, you know what, for fun, let's set up on this thing. Let's use the double team. So we just keep going for the double team. This thing starts going for the damn... for the workup, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get swept if this continues. Thankfully, actually, the double teams didn't matter, and the return, because wasn't going to be able to do much damage to this thing, and I managed to bring Apollo out, who's faster, does 60%. 1 Karate Chop more can kill this thing. Unfortunately, that return, we don't get the Paralyze again, and with that attack boost, I think that mattered, and but we managed to drop its attack with Nessie and kill it with a Water Pulse. We're only down to 2 Pokemon. He has 4, and the problem is that 2 of them are super effective against 2 of mine. So, very, very dangerous here. My best bet, he's got a lot of returns. The only reason we allowed Fine to be able to use return, because we were going to not allow frustration of return, because you can't do a happiness check very easily. Apparently, confirmed by Bandmarsh, Fine was able to check the exact happiness number on the emulator or something like that of each of his Pokemon and adjusted it accordingly in Showdown, so we allowed it. But nonetheless, it's to my detriment right now. Thankfully, the static, and so a waste of a Thunder Wave move because the static finally hit me. I didn't really have a choice. I need to get that Growlithe out of here. Or at the very least, I need to do as much damage to the rest of the team with Nessie. Switching out is just going to keep getting me chip damage. I've got to kill these Pokemon. So I do manage to get rid. We're now down to 2-2, but I'm still not too confident here because, yeah, that Thunder Shock might have been the end of my night had I not taken a switch. Goes into the Growlithe, but now I've got a free move in Poison Powder. I knew that he was going to switch, and oh well, I predicted the prediction that he was going to switch. Go for the Poison Powder. Now I'm thinking chip damage. I'm thinking, okay, you'll do the Flame Wheel. I've resisted, so even if I'm paralyzed and stuff, because this thing I believe has Thief, it's got some other moves, but now I think I might have a shot at it. The Water Pulse does confuse, 30% health, and I'm thinking, okay, can this thing still survive a Thunder Shock? And I get the Water Pulse, I managed to kill it. Now, here's the problem. The Growlithe's going to be faster and probably be able to take out Nessie. Doesn't do it. Thief, am I paralyzed? Nope. The Hacks was on my side. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. This was an extremely close match. I don't know if 1v1, even with the poison, would Growlithe probably would have killed Ivysaur in about 2 hits. I think I could survive 1 Flame Charge or Flame Wheel or whatever, not 2. So, yeah. But either way, so we beat Fine. We're moving on in this losers bracket. We really are. We're moving on. We're getting closer and closer to for the last match. So I'm getting a little nervous. I'm getting a little okay. I'm on a bit of a roll, but as you can see from this, I won this particular match purely to a little bit of luck, a little bit of hacks on my side in this match. That doesn't mean I would have lost to Fine. It just means we would have had a third round to determine who actually won. So yeah, all my matches have been relatively close, so I'm not feeling exactly brimming with confidence even going into the next round. So at this point, guys, the winner's bracket is already completed. We know that Seth is going to be the person that whoever now wins the loser's bracket is going to have to face off against Seth in the grand finals to determine who actually wins the tournament. I'm not too confident I'm even going to make it that far, even as far as this point, because who Seth beat down in the losers bracket is Neve. I'm not confident I can beat Neve, and after getting my ass kicked by Seth earlier on in this week's tournament, I'm not confident I can do that either. I'm just hoping to try to get third place. So, this is our match up against Bob. As you can see, it's a Hoenn team, and for those of you who don't know, we did not ban the Dex Nav. I got a little salty about that in the VC earlier, because you're going to see sort of why. So, starts off with the fake out on Moses. We go for the Psybeam. Pretty straightforward. The Oranberry, of course, makes things difficult. And then we get the Teeter Dance, and I say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going for it. And I went for it. Paid off. I don't know what the purpose of switching into the Water Poison type against the Kadabra was, but either way, we get the Psybeam, kill off 1 hit. Now, here is what I'm talking about. Dex Nav, the reason I switch, that move right there. Brave Bird on a level 20. But thankfully, pays off. We made the switch. Ash manages to, and we get the Thunder Shock too. So we're doing pretty good with Ash right now. The Fake Out doesn't manage to do much, but it does flinch, of course. Fake Out, it flinches, etc. But we managed to paralyze the bird, so that's really, really good, the Tailor. So this match is going surprisingly different than I thought. Apparently, I guess his Lombre does not have too many great attacking moves because Pikachu is very, very weak. One decent attack is going to kill it off. And once again, another one of the Dex Mav moves, Crush Claw on his Vigoroth takes out our Pikachu. Now, this is where I'm thinking I got a pretty good matchup. Don't expect the switch, honestly. Thought he would try to beat me out 1v1 there. The low kick does absolutely nothing to the One Pump Chump, who uses Sweet Scent of all things. Not sure what the purpose of that was, or was trying to set up a Brave Bird or something like that. So I go for the Poison Powder, of course, switches into the one thing that can't be poisoned right now with the paralyzation. This is when I'm like, okay, if I'm going to take a Brave Bird, I'm going to do it. goes for the Focus Energy, a critical hit boost. I'm really, really scared of this damn thing if I don't kill it off. I go for the bite, I get it, goes for the Brave Bird, gets the critical hit, but takes the recoil damage and does a huge chunk of change to Gyarados. But on a Tailo, Brave Bird might be an OP powerful move on a level 20, but when you have a bulky enough Pokemon like Gyarados, we can survive one hit. But now we're down to only 12%. The Crush Claw, like Gyarados has no chance. So even though the score is looking like it's in my favor, I'm not doing so hot, realistically speaking. So this time I decided to go for the Karate Chop. Does a little more damage to the Skirsit, but I'm thinking, you know what, I'll just try to do as much damage here as possible. If Apollo dies. Goes for the Sweet Scent again, and I'm thinking, okay, what is this thing after? And I'm realizing this thing has Hydro Pump. So once I get it down into range, I use the Mega Kick. Yes, it has Hydro Pump once again, the Dex Nav. I've watched previous matches with Bob, and I was just like, holy crap, like that's making all the difference. Hydro Pumps and Brave Birds and stuff. So I'm really terrified of these things and trying to take them out early. Now, against the Combuskin, I actually do fairly well with Mankey. I actually do extremely well. I'm surprised that Mankey was able to survive the hits that he did. And at this point, the Flame Charge is enough to, unfortunately, kill Kadabra once he switches in right off the bat. And it's faster than me. Now it has a speed boost. So goes for the Double Kick, gets poisoned by the Poison Point for the physical contact, but not that I don't think it mattered because my Double Kick was incoming anyways, and finishes it off. So now I got Nidoqueen against Vigoroth. I think that this matchup should be pretty solid. That Crush Claw is, though it's a Dex Nav move, out of all the Dex Nav moves that Bob was using, this one is not really that great. It's only like 55, 60 power, so it's in the range for a level 20, and my Nidoqueen is so damn bulky, and I've got the super effective move in Double Kick. So I end up beating the first match up against Bob. But once again, as you guys could tell, the Brave Bird and how terrified I was of the Skirskit and the Tailo with the Brave Bird and Hydro Pump respectively. Thankfully, the Skirskit never got a Hydro Pump off in this match. That could have made a big, big difference. So yeah, and we managed to paralyze. We got lucky with the static, and I'm going to call it. It was lucky. We got lucky with the static on Pikachu with the Tailo early on. So that probably played into a huge factor. And then we go to round 2 up against Bob. Okay, so here we are, our second match against Bob. And though I've been forgetting to say GG to everybody I've faced, GG to everyone, even you, Seth, even you. GG to everyone I've faced so far. And let's do round 2 of our match against Bob. So, when we start off this one, starts off with the Tentacool this time. And I'm thinking, okay. I started off with Brute Root. I'm hoping for an early Leech Seed, an early Poison Powder, something like that. I get the Leech Seed off on the Tailo, but that Brave Bird can kill me in one hit, and I know it. So I switch out, and I try to do the same strategy this time as before. We take the Brave Bird. The Brave Bird, thankfully, with the not very effectiveness, on Pikachu, we get the static again with that contact. That contact, it matters so much. And even though the Leech Seed didn't do very much, it managed to get us a little bit of health back. We go for the Thunder Shock. Don't know why he switched out to the Tentacool knowing the Thunder Shock was probably incoming. And at this point, we might even kill the Tentacool off again. The Acid is coming in, but once again, Pikachu was not viable in this tournament at all. We get the super effective hit, and the Tentacool goes down again. Pikachu actually pulling his weight for the first match in the entire tournament. The Crush Claw comes in, of course, and we die, and I'm willing to sack Pikachu. Now we're jumping into Apollo. Now we know what this changeout is going to be. We know it's coming. But do I care? Mega Kick. Knowing that it's coming, I figured let's get off a Mega Kick and let's do it again. We had 2 Mega Kicks, no Hydro Pump for Bob. Whew, that was really lucky. And then here comes our other danger, our other stranger danger. But we have Rock Tomb, and we're faster because of the paralyzation. I'm sure the paralyze mattered. So Hacks on my side in this match. Not going to say there weren't, or wasn't. So now we get the fake out with the Lumbre here. Now, Mega Kick once again keeps hitting. We're getting really lucky with those Mega Kick hits. The accuracy is not too bad on Mega Kick, let's be realistic, but still it does have a chance to miss. I'm not willing to take the confusion, so I jump out into Kadabra and I get a double switch. This is now Psybeam 100%. Get out of here. You're gone. You're gone, Combuskin. So now I believe at this point it's like I don't think anything can really kill me. The flinching sucks and everything like that, but the fake out's only good for stalling me at this point. Psybeam is super powerful at this point. Kadabra's special attack, of course, early game is through the roof. And if this was Confusion and not Psybeam, might have made a whole lot of difference. But I did not expect the feint attack. I did not know Vigoroth had feint attack, and I was like, holy crap, managed to survive with 4 HP, and we take down Bob. I don't think he only got 1 Brave Bird off, and in 2 matches didn't get a Hydro Pump off or anything. So though the Dex Nav, once again, we never made a rule about the Dex Nav stuff. Like at the end of the day, at least in my matches, it didn't really seem to matter too much. Or maybe it was sort of like that referee thing. It was sort of evening the playing field. I definitely got more hacks on my side in my 2 matches against Bob than Bob got against me. And, you could argue that, that sort of evened up the playing field a little bit. But either way, GG to Bob. We won our match against Bob. And now it's coming down to the wire now. And now my palms are getting sweaty. Now I'm getting nervous. Okay, so now it's time for the championship match in the loser's bracket. This determines who goes to the grand finals to face off for a rematch against Seth. Neve lost to Seth. I lost to Seth. One of us is going out of here, and we are going to try our hand at defeating the arch villain that is Seth in this Pokemon tournament. Now, as you guys know, Neve completely destroyed me. Completely destroyed me in the last tournament with that damn Foofaroo. So let's see what we can do this time. However, I'm not confident that this is going to be easy whatsoever. Even though I've been winning my matches, as you guys have seen, I've been winning my matches, but not easily. And there's been no sweeps. There's been no big turnovers or anything like that. It's been down to the wire. So let's see what happens here in our first round against Neve for the winner of the loser's bracket. So starts off with the horse, with Epona. Starts off with Weed Carrier. I go for the Psybeam. I'm faster right away, and that defensive boost. I'm like, well, goddamn. Goes for the Bulldoze, drops my speed, and does well over half damage. And I'm thinking, okay. What do I do? And I'm thinking, screw it. Let's go for another Psybeam and hope the speed doesn't matter. We get a hit off on the Foofaroo. It's got bloody leftovers. The critical hit didn't matter for that. I'm sure Kadabra's defense isn't that great, but this thing has leftovers. So now I know I have to hit this thing hard and fast now. I can't wait. So I go into this and I decide the low kick. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this thing is a lot heavier than it is. Maybe that wasn't the best choice. Karate Chop would have been the better choice in that, and try to go for the critical hit ratio. Still got it down to 48, back up to 54. I've lost 2 Pokemon. She hasn't lost a single one. I go into Elizabeth, and I'm like, okay, this thing goes for workup, but I'm like, it doesn't increase the defense. Double kick this thing. Double kick it. Hurt it. And it does only 30% damage. Then it gets 30% back with the leftovers. That's not great. Headbutt does even more to my Nidoqueen, who's supposed to be bulky. We get a critical hit. Might have mattered. Looking at the percentages, there was a chance that a double kick without a critical would have killed this thing, but it was still actually a chance that it wouldn't. I am faster than the Epona. Once again, I just call it Epona. I am faster, so I kill that off in 1 hit. So Neve sacks that. From Boner Swamp, the Psyduck jumps in, and I'm like, I'm not taking a water attack. I'm switching out into Pikachu. Seemed to be a pretty good wall last time for some reason. I decided to go for the Thunder Wave, predicting there was going to be a switch, and I figured, a Thunder Wave might do something. So I go for the Thunder Shock. We're not expecting huge damage outputs, 15, 20%. I'm not unimpressed by that, and the Razor Leafs are going to sack Pikachu. So now we're down. I'm down 3 Pokemon. So here's where I jump back into Nidoqueen, and I'm thinking, okay, I can bite this thing, I can hurt it. I get a flinch. Probably did matter, because now this is where Neve decides to, get the hell out of there. Go for the bite again. Switch out into Gyarados to get the attack, not necessarily to get to the attack drop, just figuring Confusion, Water Pulse, they're all super effective against Nidoqueen. So at this point, I go for the bite. My attack stat is dropped, however, and I only do 25%. I go for the attraction on this thing. Doesn't seem to work. I have attract on my Gyarados. Yes, I do. But it doesn't seem to work, so I end up just saying, screw it, I'm going for the Water Pulse. Take down, once again, that attraction. That infatuation doesn't seem to be helping me matters very much. I thought I would get lucky with the hacks. Not so much. and we're taking some heavy hits with Gyarados, but so is Neve at this point. Look at Neve taking huge hits from these Water Pulse attacks. I don't know what the purpose of switching out into Spinda here was. All Spinda ended up doing was taking a lot of damage, and Gyarados is still in the play. And I'm going for the Water Pulses. I go for the Bite at this range because I'm thinking, okay, even if my attack is dropped, my special attack is just not that good on Gyarados. It's my attack stat is what really makes Gyarados dangerous. Here, Water Pulse might have been the better choice, and we end up with the takedown. We end up losing our Gyarados. But Neve loses the dog. So Nidoqueen comes in comes the Spinda. I don't know what the Spinda was supposed to be able to do, but we double kick it, we kill it off. I don't even like Spinda. One of the only Pokemon from Hoenn I really just don't like. So now it's 1-2, but I think I've got this in the bag. I don't think that flinch even mattered, because I don't know what this Uryu, what this, what the grass flying, like what could the starter have done to Nidoqueen that I wouldn't have just killed in 2 hits. I'm not sure. And then Ivysaur was there in the background, so I think I would have won that regardless. But I got some lucky. I got some luck on my side, it seems, in the last couple of matches. I've been getting lucky with the hacks. The hacks haven't been really against me, so I managed to win my first match off against Neve. But she's going to come back with a vengeance, and she's not going to be happy. So yeah, let's get into that one. Okay, so palms are sweating. This is going to be a really exciting match, I believe, and I'm just really, really pumped because we're into round 2 up against Neve to see who faces off in the grand finals. Getting even second place, because even at this junction, realistically, I'm going to try my best against Neve, but I don't think I can beat Seth. Seth kicked my ass, as I've constantly said throughout this video. Seth brutalized me, destroyed me. I think Neve has a better shot of beating Seth than I do, so I'm going to try my best. Neve's going to try her best. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. So, we jump in here. Starts off this time with the doggy, and I get my Ivysaur. I get Brute Root out there from the get-go. I'm thinking, like, let's poison something, let's Leech Seed something early. You know, getting those early stabs or early status ailments can really help. Like, look, already got some poison off. The takedown did a little bit of recoil damage. Switches out into the Spinda. I go for the Razor Leaf. Does decent damage because I decided to stay in even with the attack drop. I go for a Poison Powder again, so now 2 of the Pokemon are poisoned. Now I know why they switched to the Spinda. The Fire Punch. The Fire Punch is the reason. But still, can't really do much against my friggin' Ivysaur. I take the fact that Ivysaur is down and out sort of idea because I don't want anything else to really take the Fire Punch, and I know that Neve's going to go for it. So we basically trade off Pokemon. The difference is that I've already got one of his other Pokemon, Neve's, her other Pokemon down to with the poison right there, as you can see. Now, I don't understand this switch in, because the Intimidate wasn't going to do anything unless there's a Dark-type move, and I never really found out. I forgot if there was, because the Psybeam is just too powerful. So maybe it was a sacking purpose, I'm not sure. So Fluffers comes in, that damn Foofaroo, and starts trying to work up, and I'm like, oh god, that headbutt can kill me from that range, I'm pretty sure. So I'm Psybeaming this thing to death, trying to just take it out, because those leftovers are going to be dangerous. The headbutt, of course, does take me out, but I got this thing down to 22%. Even with the leftovers, it's 28, and I know, Mankey, Karate Chop, you've got a shot at this. But the headbutt and faster takes out Mankey. This isn't looking too hot for me. And now you gained another 6% health back. So this is where I go, okay, Nidoqueen with the double kick. Can you do it? And boom, boom, no. Can't do it. And we took the headbutt, we took 30% hit. So double kick is going to be the only thing that, but of course we sort of predicted the switch, and we go for the double kick anyways, just in case not. But now the defense has started to rise. Times 2 defense, 80%, has 2 sets of leftovers. Neve has 2 sets of leftovers. I can't believe it. I know that I can't do anything against this thing with Nidoqueen. I switch out into Gyarados because of the flying typing. I get the free switch because of the Bulldoze, and the Water Pulse manages to kill that super effectiveness. That special defense must be pretty bad because my special attack ain't great, but it is a Gyarados. So I go for the bite this time. We get a workup, and I'm sort of like, okay, what's this thing going to do? I'm just going to keep attacking. We're doing decent enough damage. Like, all it's got is Razor Leaf, and even with that critical hit, only did 39. It's water. You know, it's a water flying type, though. So we're getting the damage. We finally got a bite flinch. Yeah, it was inevitable with 4 bites in a row. You're going to get a flinch. And we managed to kill off the starter. In comes the Psyduck, and I'm thinking, well, bite it. 56%. Got the flinch. Probably, I mean, did the flinch matter? Of course, every flinch can potentially matter. But I don't think that the Psyduck was going to do much damage to us. Maybe brought us down into a range of some sort. Maybe the headbutt could have killed us. I don't think the Psyduck could have done 37% damage, however. And we actually managed to beat Neve 3-0. And I'm thinking, okay, I did win. I won. But now I'm second place. At the very least, guys, I got second place in this tournament. So at this point, as I said, my palms are shaking. I'm shaking. We're sweating. We're doing this. We got the lucky headband on. What are we going to do? And then I'm thinking, all right. Maybe I really do have a shot. Because I didn't think I could beat Neve. And I beat Neve 2-0. So if I could beat her, maybe I really do have a chance against Seth. Maybe I just didn't play very well against Seth. Maybe Seth just played really well against me. Maybe Seth's a little overconfident. So why don't we go in to the grand finals match of your host with the most, Griever, versus Seth, the shonen villain. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the grand finals. We at the very least got the silver medal. We got the silver. We got second place. We're on the board in points. There's more people this time, so more points will be awarded for first, second, third, and the like. And I'm just really happy to be on the board, as a lot of people expected me to do fairly well in this tournament, and I did not do a very good showing last week. So I'm pretty happy. I'd be content with how we handled things for the rest of this. But Seth kicked our ass. Seth destroyed us in this tournament. Man, oh man. All right, let's get into this. Let's see what happens this time. Let's just hope, once again, my goal here, I didn't really strive to win. I strived to make sure that Seth couldn't get bonus points from me. So, just like last time. Didn't have the confidence to win, but I'm still going to play as smart as I possibly can. I'm going to think through my moves, and let's just get started. So, starts out with this Draw thing from Sword and Shield's decks. Not really sure, but I think I got a pretty good start here because I decided to poison it. I'm like, let's go for the status ailments. You know, Seth has a lot of like hold items and stuff like that, but right now where I'm at a type advantage, I'm thinking, let's poison it, let's Razor Leaf it. Unfortunately, I get the flinch from the headbutt. Starting to turn around all those hacks that I was getting in matches against Fine, Bob, and Neve. So I decide I'm not willing to sack my Ivysaur yet. I switch out. I've got the poison. The longer this thing stays in, the better. Misses a Rock Tomb against my Gyarados, and I'm like, holy shit, that was lucky. I go for the bite. Thing has a damn Citrus Berry. Very, very annoying. So I'm really glad I went for the Poison Powder on the first turn. Now the Rock Tomb, while super effective, does lower my speed and does almost 40% damage. And I'm thinking, oh goddamn, if I take one more of those, I'm screwed. But I'm willing to risk. I'm not willing to risk losing Gyarados once again, especially with the drop. We go for the Rock Tomb, and I knew that I could tank this pretty easily, but the speed drop still happens. Now this thing will die to poison regardless, so I just keep pulling the switch. The headbutt comes in, only doing 12. I knew that Seth wouldn't go for the and it dies to the poison. So I managed to stall this thing out. I've got a lot of chip damage on some of my Pokemon here, especially Ivysaur and Gyarados, but I'm thinking, okay, not doing too bad. So I went for Water Pulse on this thing, because of course Water Ground, and I'm thinking, okay, can I get a Confusion? I got a critical hit, and I get a Confusion. I'm like, okay, cool, because this thing also has a damn Citrus Berry. It hits itself in Confusion. That's necessary because that stupid Echoed Voice. I don't believe it's stacked anymore because Echoed Voice could sweep this entire team. So we sack Gyarados in lieu of this fact, and then I get this thing in range that a Psybeam can kill it, and I am faster than Seth's fastest. Now, here it comes. Here's this damn thing. I thought it would outspeed me, so I tried to disable the Nasty Plot. Didn't work out too well, and I do disable the Nasty Plot on the second move, so it can't use Nasty Plot on me anymore. But of course, if he switches out, that's a problem. But at this time, I managed to survive a Snarl. The special attack drop don't matter too much, but then the Swift comes in and kills me. So, still, nonetheless, could not get a Karate Chop off on this thing. I go into Elizabeth. The Snarl comes in doing massive damage. This damn thing, even with that, this thing has stupid damage. We get the double kick. It does over half, but of course, in comes another goddamn berry. And then the Disable. Then the Disable goes for another nasty plot. I have to do the double kick. I have to hope for a crit. I don't get it. I don't get the crit. Still down to 6%, but with 3%, it's going to be able to kill my Nidoqueen, and now most of my best Pokemon are off the table. Here's where I'm thinking, okay, quick attack this thing. I can do 6% damage. Damn right I can. Go Pikachu. Managed to kill it, but now we're on an uphill battle here. The Quagsire, we can't really do much against it. Thunder Wave's not going to work against most of these other Pokemon anyways or anything like that. So I figure, hell, I'll just keep the damn thing in, do some chip damage. Goes for the Yawn, not willing to risk it. Ends up using the Mud Shot, and of course lowers my speed. Everything this thing has lowers my speed. Go for the Psybeam, hoping for better damage. Doesn't do anything realistically, and the Aqua Tail kills off Kadabra. So now we're in a real uphill battle here. Now, this is where I know a Razor Leaf is going to kill this thing no matter what. I've got to kill it. This is the problem. This thing. Because it's Fire type. Even though we tank that. It's faster now. We don't even get another move. And then goes Pikachu, who cannot win against a Diglett, let alone this thing. I know that. The Ancient Power is a critical hit. That does not matter. I do get a Thunder Wave off, and then I believe I just try to set up with Double Team. I try my best to utilize Double Team to the best of my ability. It's not going to matter in the end, as you guys can tell. Flame Charge does end up missing, and I do manage to, like, I just keep, let's raise the Double Team, let's raise up the Double Team, but in the end, 30 turns in, and it's 2-0, and I lose my first match against Seth for the Grand Finals. So, very, very unfortunate. So now, we did pretty well. We did pretty well in our first matchup, but we didn't really have much of a chance going in anyways. We got a little bit of hacks on our side, and that was the only reason we survived as long as we did, as far as I believe. So I go into this match realistically with a bit of a grain of salt. Like, I'm like, I don't know. But let's just see what happens. So, starts off the same as last time, and so do I. So I'm like, all right. Last time this worked out pretty well for me, but this time, I think I'm going to kill this thing. Razor Leaf it. I know it has the Citrus Berry now, and I'm thinking, all right, cool. Razor Leaf does enough damage to 2-0 this thing. The poison, letting everybody chip away at the Gyarados and stuff, that wasn't the smart move. I'm hoping to kill it in 2 hits, and I do. I take a lot of damage in this way, but now I've got everybody else at full. That Flame Charge, even though it upped the speed, doesn't do very much against Elizabeth now, does it? Don't know what the point of the Rapid Spin was, necessarily, because all that did was give this thing poison. Not that I'm complaining. The Double Kick is super effective and does some massive damage. So, okay, and now he's hurt by the poison. Over half health down, uses, of course, the berry. So, but the Flame Charge at 12%, I can tank this for days. I'll kill this thing long before it kills me, especially with a super effective Double Kick like that. It's got no berry anymore, no matter how fast it is. It's got poison on it. It's down to 21%. This thing, I haven't been able to kill it in all the matches I played against Seth. I haven't been able to kill this thing, and finally, right here, with another Double Kick, I managed to kill it. So now, I've killed 2 of Seth's Pokemon, and I haven't lost a single one. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Now, why did I switch out here? I expected something like that. And I said, okay, we're gonna play the field a little bit here. We're going to see what he wants to do. This, unfortunately, was a bad double prediction switch, and I have to switch into the Mankey. I'm hoping to get this thing before it does this damn nasty plot set up on me. This time, Swift, I survive it because it doesn't have... I don't really know why I survived that time. I really don't, because the Nasty Plot raises special. Is Swift special now or something? I have no idea. But I get the Karate Chops off on this thing. Finally doing something. And then boom, of course, one more Swift. Now, I don't know if on Seth's part that was the smartest move to set up another Nasty Plot, because now I'm going to be able to kill this thing. You know? And this Nasty Plot too. Like, it's in a range that I can kill, I thought, pretty easily. Apparently not. The special defense on this thing must be pretty high. Of course, my special attack on Gyarados is very, very low. I get lucky and manage to kill this thing off without relative too much damage from that damn nasty plot setup. So now I'm thinking, okay, I got a shot at this. Now it's just a few. If I get rid of this echoed voice thing, I can kill this thing. So like bite is doing about 30%, but of course with the berry, it's going to be more than a 3-hit KO. The echoed voice is starting to slowly stack. I'm getting a little worried here, but I said if I switch out now, it's just another free echoed voice, and in the end, I'm going to be screwed. The critical hit, oh man, oh damn, and then boom, we get the bite. In comes the echoed voice. Gyarados loses this matchup, and I'm thinking, oh damn, okay, what can I do? And I'm like, all right, Pikachu might be faster. So I go for the quick attack just in case. I managed to do 8% to this thing, so it didn't get off another echoed voice. That was just luck on my part. I decided to go for the double team here. I don't want to take a hit from this thing, so I'm like, I'm going to go for the double team. How Mudshot did not kill me is completely beyond me. I have no idea how that didn't kill me. Now, Quagsire goes for the Rain Dance here at this point. And I'm thinking, okay, so water moves, electric moves can't miss in the rain. They power up water type moves. I'm not sure by Gen 8, do they also make it so water moves don't miss? Either way, they're definitely powered up now. That's a little dangerous. So I decide, okay, I've got this thing at 91%. I remember I could kill it. I think the critical hit mattered though, because it was paralyzed. I knew I would be faster. So the Rage Relief was going to hit, or the Rage Relief was going to do a lot of damage. I wasn't sure if it was going to kill. This time, however, goes for the Bulldoze, not the Sucker Punch, and I knew I could kill this thing in one hit. I don't think the critical mattered to kill the Diglett, and I actually managed to beat Seth. Not, like, it was pretty difficult. Anything went the wrong way, I would have lost. I would have lost this match, but now I'm feeling confident, and now we actually go to round 3. So it's down to the wire. It's Game 7. It's the Super Bowl. It's like, this is the match for all the marbles. Now, there was some confusion about this during the actual tournament. People said, well, do you guys play just best out of 3 or do you play best out of 5? And I said, no. I said, we don't do an extra set or anything like this. It's like, no, this is the set. And it's like, well, don't you need another match? No. These are the grand finals. It's me versus Seth. Like, I wasn't, like, after this match, people were asking, like, because both Seth and I said, hey, like, we're going to win. Like, one of us is going to win next match. And everyone was like, well, wait a minute now. And we said, no. That, like, I don't want to have to do anything more to win this thing. It's like, it's all down to the wire now. We're 1v1. I've finally beaten Seth in a match. And I was like, all right. So then we get into the third match, the final match of the grand finals for who will be Pokemon champion. All right, for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen, for all the marbles, we got our lucky headband on. The green one wasn't doing it for us last week. The blue one, however, seems to be giving us luck in spades. Luck in spades for hacks, luck in spades for matchups, luck in spades for... I mean, I had to fight through a total gauntlet of very good Pokemon players, like fighting through Neve and Fine and Bob and stuff like that. And Faye nearly kicked my ass out of the first round. So, I mean, there's a lot. Like, I had to battle through... I didn't have any easy matches as far as I'm concerned. So, that being said, why don't we see what happens here in the last... I feel like at this point I was sort of feeling like that part in Rocky Balboa in Rocky 4 where he finally hurts Ivan Drago and he starts bleeding and Duke just says to Rocky, he's not a machine, he's a man, he can bleed, he can die, let's do this. And I'm thinking, all right, I got a taste for blood after beating Seth one time. My confidence is boosted up at this point and I'm thinking, I might win this. Let's go for gold. Let's not play this whole not giving 2 points. Let's go for goddamn gold. So here we go. We go into this matchup. So, everybody was super pumped by this too. This is a super matchup. So, this thing with its damn nasty plot. Finally, I get a proper switch into this damn thing. Even, turn-based. It's going to set up the nasty plot. I know it. It's got the berry. I know it, but my double kick already brings it down to half health. The Snarl... very dangerous, very deadly. Thankfully, my special attack drop doesn't matter. Super effective, super effective. Boom, 2 hits. We get rid of that thing. We only took half health damage from this damn thing. So we switch out automatically. This is an excellent start for us. We switch out to the Gyarados, of course, expecting like the Mud Shot or something like that, or a water type move. Nah, none of that nature, so I decided, screw it, I'll switch out into the Ivysaur. Predicts that. So Seth is also playing for keeps. So I have to double switch. Here's where we take an Ancient Power. Expected that too. Assuming, and trying to get the boost from Ancient Power, of course. Now, I don't know what the purpose of switching into the Diglett here was. Maybe Seth over-predicted a prediction or something like that, but the Water Pulse kills the Diglett off, so now we are... we got two down. And I'm pretty happy by this point. So we get the flinch, and I said, nah, I'm not going to be able to do much to this thing. The Quagsire goes for the yawn, unfortunately, and I'm not willing to sacrifice like the sleep. The sleep is what was detrimental to me in one of my matches, and Seth knows it. Seth knows I fear that. So jumps into this Blastoise, the Deidre thing. I'm thinking, okay, I could side beam this thing, maybe take it out. Payback, Dark type, one move, there goes Moses. Now the momentum has shifted. Goes for the Protect, have no idea really why. I don't have any chip damage on me. I don't have confusion or anything. Goes for the Headbutt here. I stick with the Razor Leaf because I know I can kill this thing in one hit. Don't know really why he stayed in. He knew that too. But then switches in to this damn Molten Rock Golem reject looking thing. And I switch in, of course, into my Gyarados. Don't know why he keeps going for the Rapid Spin. He wants the Speed Boost apparently, but I don't think it's going to do very much, and he switches out anyway. So I don't know. Seth was not really on his game here, but this switch out, very smart. Quagsire back at full HP because of the Water Pulse switch, and very, very smart. Goes for the Yawn, of course, making it very annoying. Knows I have to switch. Switch into the Ivysaur. He's probably going to predict that. Doesn't actually. Stays in thinking, okay, I can, if I whittle down this Ivysaur, I'm going to get some free switching. So goes for the Mud Shot. We get the speed drop. Of course, if we're predicting the Razor Leaf, goes into the Fire type. Now, this is where I make a bit of a choice. I'm like, all right, we're going to go back and forth like this. What if I switch into Pikachu and try to go for that? I wanted the Thunder Wave. I got the Static instead. Bit of a waste of a move. Get the Quick Attack. The Quick Attack was only going to do another 2% anyways, and then he kills me off. But I wanted to paralyze this thing, so all these speed boosts, no matter how many speed boosts he gets, it's not going to matter for the rest of the damn match. He can't cure himself from paralyze. So goes for the Flame Charge when I jump into Apollo, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm just going to low kick this thing. This thing's got to be bulky as hell, and it is. It's got a high weight class. Looking at that low kick, does major damage. Can't kill me with the Flame Charge because this thing is all about being bulky, apparently. I go for the Karate Chop. I don't know why. I made a mistake, but the paralysis allows the low kick. I was thinking, oh, if low kick did that much, maybe a Karate Chop critical hit will take it out. Not so much. We're doing excellent right now. I think you guys can see that a comeback might be on its way. A comeback might be on its way because now, of course, even though we have 4 Pokemon, we have Mankey here, who, at this point, I said, screw it. Let's go for it. Let's do a Mega Kick. Let's do as much damage as possible. I have no idea why I chose to do that, but I did, and boom. Now I think we've got this. If we survive the Echoed Voice, we get a Razor Leaf. It's super effective. We all know that the Quagsire cannot survive at that range from a Razor Leaf. We're faster. The crit didn't matter. And I beat Seth. And I win the entire tournament. I win week 2. Lucky bandana. We're wearing the blue one next week as well. We've got to wear the blue one. The blue one clearly gives us the edge, gives us the luck, gives us the hacks, whatever you guys want to say. But this is what happened. We won the entire tournament. We lost our first matchup against Seth, but we came back for the grand finals and beat him. So, really good match. I hope you guys enjoyed the matches and everything. But yeah, so that's the grand finals. I won this week. So we won! We won! I won! I'm the champion. I took down Seth as the villain of the week. Everyone was calling him a big anime-style villain sort of idea. He was the shonen villain, and we needed a protagonist, an up-and-coming. We needed Gohan against Perfect Cell. We needed someone to rise from the ashes of the last tournament and bring him down a peg. And really surprising for me because there were some hiccups with on Saturday. There was a lot of stuff going on. Some people had other things to do. The tournament went on for hours and hours, just delays, and matches were taking a while, and people getting ready, and internet issues and stuff. So there was a point where I had to step away, and I probably wouldn't have made it had the circumstances, had the stars not aligned. So even though I won the tournament, thankfully, there was a point about halfway through the tournament on Saturday that I thought that I was going to have to drop out. So, I mean, I'm really glad I didn't because I managed to win the whole damn thing. That's really cool. So I get first place points. Now I'm actually on the board. I'm in the running. That's going to be really exciting. The points are all going to be added up. Of course, once again, the standings are the standings, and they'll stay that way until the following video, etc. And, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to keep changing it here. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. I won this one. Can I win the next one? That being said, because there's a lot of other things to think about going forward with this team and stuff, because one of the tricks is you want to bring like sort of a fresh team, sort of a new team, and my options are a little limited by the third gym. There's not a whole lot of choices necessarily, and even if there are new choices, are they all viable choices? Are they good choices? So that being the case, we're going to have to wait and see what next week brings. Really exciting though. Glad I won. I hope you guys are happy for me. And yeah, I don't want to really do a spoiler tag in the thumbnail or in the title, but I think I think I will. I think I just will, because I think people will be more likely to click it if they knew I won. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe as always. Don't forget to drink responsibly as always, as I always do. I think the blue headband, blue eyes, the blue headband, I think that gave us more luck than the green. I think it's all about the blue headband. So we're going to go for now, but thanks guys so much for watching. Hope all your Pokemon trainers had a good time. We'll see you next week. Peace.